All right, bud. You ready to rock and roll?
Yep.
All righty. Let's open and close some stuff here. All right, starting P12. We got 27 on track.
No stage tonight, and this is the first of 2 races to determine the championship.
Okay. All right. Since I don't hear a broadcast or anything like that in the background, I'll go ahead and I'll turn the audio for your stream off and just kind of chillax.
I'll have it up in a second.
Okay. Your stream has like no lag. I hear myself right after I say something.
Hull starting 27th. These drivers are ready for
racing
action, but Richard,
Yep.
Dover's going to always be the tough track. You talked about the banking that these drivers are dealing with. It's 24 degrees banking throughout the corners, 9 degrees on the straightaways. But what do you think these drivers are main focus in these first couple of laps as we get ready for the longest Dover race that WSSR has ever done of 180 laps here tonight? No stage break, no fast repair, 4 extra sets of tires.
180 laps. Let's go.
No stage break. It is a flat race to the end. There's going to be cautions eventually, but it's not planned. You don't have a specific lap they have to worry about getting to. So right now, I think to start this race off is to find your groove and keep yourself out of trouble, and then worry about strategy when it comes to pitting under green and taking tires, and when you're going to do it, who you're going to be pitting with.
It was season 7 when they raced in the ARCA Gen 4 car.
All right, pace car is off. Ryan Keller's your leader. He's on the bottom side.
Gen 6 Cup cars. It has been
Go.
less cautions. We'll see if tonight we stay with the trend of 3 or less, or will we have a chaotic mess? It's time for the championship round to start. We enter the restart zone, as it will be Ryan Keller.
Not yet. Clear low. 51 low now.
On turn number 1, the championship round for season 10 is under.
Now you got 17 low.
3 already trying to be clear up into 2.
Back to the 51. They're going to end up splitting you. There it is.
Clear enough on the outside.
Now 17. 17 got a little loose. You are
trying to challenge for that.
You are not clear low.
Not upset well, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to do it. They're hitting doors as they come out of 4 as they complete lap 1. They're still side by side going in turn 1.
Clear low.
Not giving up at all from where we left off last week at Las
Still clear low if you want it.
Hamilton, Vegas.
Not anymore.
But obviously not here tonight. We carry over the beat and banging the Ken Rogers and Sentinel hat against one another.
26 behind you.
We stay side by side for second place.
Kind of gave you a little bit of a shot there.
Bonus points, lap led, Cole Ward and Mark Erter with a 75.
Still low.
As now Larry Yingling is setting up to go for a 3rd place.
Larry Yingling taking advantage of Gavin Rogers' run on the inside. He's able to clear him, and out there.
17 still low.
3rd from Seth Noel. He is starting to fall just a little bit, but he's not going to be able to clear Seth as Seth goes.
That wall won't move no matter how many times you hit it, Brian.
Oh, I ain't got it on my screen yet.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, it looks like you hit it a couple times on mine. Like right there, too.
No, I didn't get it. I backed out.
Okay.
On ISR's
Okay, cool.
series on Monday nights. You see the Hello Kitty machine. That's Centric
26 now low.
I did tap it there.
Gotcha.
The underdogs.
That's funny because some of the other shots were harder than that one looked, and you're saying you didn't, so that's weird.
13.
All right, still 26 low.
Mine is where he struggles the most.
You're clear low.
Now it's settle in and look for some good pace. Hey, speaking of pace, there's Gavin Rogers, fastest lap, just on flat bottom.
Putting the fastest lap on the track right now. But that
there you go. Good exit, still clear.
Tires and everybody else. He's got to worry about that. No stage break. The long run is where these drivers.
88s and 26, 88 outside, clear.
Hunter has always been a long run driver. It's good to
88 now right rear.
So we should be able to use that track position to help with that long run pace a little bit better. But Gavin Rogers
Still there, right rear.
Get in front of Ryan Kelly, get that clean air in first place.
Nobody behind him, clear up.
Get in front.
Now 88 back outside.
A lot better when you don't have anybody in front of you.
And right now, Ryan Kelly knows what this scenario is like. Having pressure behind.
26 now right rear.
He led 112 laps, 150 last season.
Door.
I like that top plane better.
He would love to do the same scenario.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. Just got to be able to get a good run. You're clear.
Surface,
They're 3 wide right ahead of you.
Stubing, who was getting a little bit nervous on where he wanted to place this.
Now you got the 94 is going to be looking low.
To the 15 has contact for the 7 to the outside wall, but
there he is. Left rear. Clear low.
3 wide from promotion here, and this blip view is showing perfectly the chaos is going on. Cody Reed going to be the safety valve for this group, holding drivers back, and it really hurt Andrew Medlin the most, and Ken Campbell, as they fade backwards. 25 trying to defend for this top 10 position in 8th place, but he's had a lot of fast and hungry drivers that want to get by him as soon as possible, and just trying to hold off the intrudes at 25. Vincent Soares got to be careful as Ken Campbell's setting up for a chance to swap back and forth.
A few laps ago, a little bit, Cody Reed got a little loose. I saw some smoke, and that's where the checkup was. It separated this group from that front back. But Vincent Soares is trying to get around Cody Reed. Cody Reed is being the blocking wall for these drivers from getting up and getting the speed to catch back up to that front group. So Vincent Soares trying to take his time here and pass safely because there's still a very long race ahead of us. Don't want to ruin the car this early and lose that fight for that championship. So Vincent Soares playing a little smart, knows it's a long race. He's not trying to force anything that's unnecessary. He's going to wait for Reed to kind of lose some pace and get around him when that happens.
But getting contact and damage is something that these drivers we know are going to grab at some point. The stretches naturally narrows up on him. So both 1 and 2 are seeing it badly for the 7 and up this moving game. He's been grazing the wall off of turn 2, off of turn 4 for the past 3 laps. It has just been
94 right rear. Second lane up.
Cannot deal with this contact.
Still there.
Contact
Door.
throughout a whole 180 lap run.
No, they definitely can't. That is
Clear.
one of the greatest updates that iRacing did to the service. Is now the car is kind of what it is, build up damage over time. It used to be, you'd only break a toe link if you hit hard enough. But now if you hit it enough times, then that toe link will break. So you can't just keep hitting that wall coming out of the turn. That's one thing we're seeing with Douglas Goodwig, and it seems like he's getting tight, which is not characteristic of over on the corner exit. Usually the car likes to snap loose. So seeing him get a little tight makes me wonder if he's pushing the exit of his turns really hard, trying to get,
Leaders are absolutely
Speaking about
distancing themselves.
15 to Ken Campbell as he was trying another attempt to get by Cody Reed. Did not work out. Instead, Will Fulter only.
When I saw we can go 90 laps on a tire, I was like, I might want to save. So that's sort of what I'm doing now. I don't know if it's going to pay off though.
Well, I mean, you, Scioli, and behind are kind of going back and forth with fastest lap. Renner, he was fastest on 10 and 12. Scioli was fastest on 13 and 14, and you're kind of in the middle of them both.
How many seconds am I from the leader?
From the leader, you are 5.5, almost 6.
Ooh.
Stage points on the line. It is strictly wherever you finish, and the bonus points.
And 16 cars to go through.
Forward and winning the race.
Yeah.
The only way so you get bonus points.
But it's only lap 16 of 180.
So much dynamic of all these races used to.
That just means you can't really lose too much time or get lapped.
Making that change.
Yeah, I mean it's a one-stopper.
So dramatic, Richard, to see for these drivers such a change in mentality.
Oh, there's a huge change in mentality.
So maybe they'll come back to me. I don't know.
Not thinking of that stage break.
It's possible.
These cars are.
I got it set up for the long run. We'll see.
All season, you have
All right.
race the conservative race throughout the entire race, all 180 laps. It's not being split up. You're not having a 50 lap stage followed by a 130 lap race at the end. It's 180 laps. under green unless we get a caution from an accident. So these drivers kind of have to shift their mindset a little bit at the start of this race. So they have to save a little more than they're used to versus just run it all out and try to get that stage.
Get it all out. So that's what the top two are doing currently. That's right. Kelly got Rogers. They both have pulled away.
Yeah, definitely nothing like Vegas last night.
This guy behind me is fast. I'm gonna let him go.
Yep. Down low.
Saving tires. See who's overusing their tires. That's one.
He's saving tires better than I am.
A good finish here tonight again.
Left front.
Championship run. Talking Zach yesterday.
Clear.
Monday, excuse me. During our ISRC Truck Series broadcast, asked them about this tonight and for the championship round of not being a championship round. He said, no, there's a lot of freedom. The point that there's not the pressure of running for a championship. I can just go out there and just perform and go for wins. And there's no pressure if I need to have a perfect race. I can just go out there and have some fun. Driver that missed out on last week's race, obligations that we trying to get a chance to run for a championship, needed to win at New Hampshire, didn't get it done. It's a 77 James Gaioli, who's been moving up through the track, currently tied as our biggest mover at this moment, but 77 in the first looking for our 24th now is up to the 17th and setting up the basket by Nicholas Renner.
Yeah, setting the pass, he's probably going to get around even the next lap or two, if not the next turn or two. But that is one thing that's kind of beneficial of not being able to advance in the playoffs. Yeah, it's disappointing because you're not playing for that championship anymore, but now you can kind of play the race out to your own entertainment, I guess you could say. You can either just go out there and have some fun, just enjoy being out on the track, or you can go out and test new things. You're not stressed about making it to the next round. You can go test different strategies out, see if it works, see if it doesn't, and use it for your next race at the track. No seasons. It's definitely a lot less stress lifted off the shoulders. You can go out there and have some fun and not worry about who your competitors are.
Under the 88 of trying to figure out how to get by the 17 of Chris Ditz and the 25 of Cody Reed. Reed stays low. Drew makes the pass on the outside. The 88 now will just follow in the tire tracks. The 17 of Stitz. It's Cody Reed. Let's give another round for the 25 and the 15. Find their way around one another on this positioning pass. And it's been a great time seeing these drivers go back and forth between themselves. That looks like an emergency pit stop for one of the drivers we were just had on screen, Nicholas Renner, pulling into pit road. There's no official call on why he made this move. What was the required damage? Looks like the 94 pulling it into pit road. Wait and see if there's any update on the reasoning why he just had made this emergency call, but stuck low and went to pit road.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like going back and looking at it. He just ducked into the pit road and called the night, it seems. So probably had something going on outside of the sim that he has to worry about. So unfortunate to see. It would have been nice to see him, finish a race here in the WSSR, but pulled it in early and called it a night here.
So this changes up this race as there's just a pull-in portion of the replay for the 94 as drivers starting to get a little bit more antsy on track. Again, the battle for the lead, still in line, is Ryan Kelly and Gavin Rogers. They have been stuck like this since lap 3. It has been Gavin Rogers, Ryan Kelly, just staying in line. And I mean, if you're Rogers, this isn't the worst place to
You're keeping pace with the 77. You've actually been fastest of those around you for the last 5 laps, so keep it going, bud.
Spot away. This is beautiful for Gavin Rogers. Yes, you like to have the lead to have that clean air to maybe salvage your tires a little bit better, but as long as you're this close to the leader, you're still in a great fighting position. The only worry is that you're slowly being caught by the drivers from third on back.
Yeah, that's the one thing as I was slowly seeing the drivers inch further and further away from that pack behind them, is I was worried about how much tires they were utilizing to do this, and their pace has dropped about a tenth of a second slower than that of Seth Noel. Seth is slowly catching them, so I fear that they might have used a little bit more resources than they were hoping for, because they've still got quite a bit of ways to go before they need to pit for fuel and tires. So interesting to see. They got
Double O's going to try a little bit on the outside, but the 12 is holding him up a little bit.
Chase
12 now outside.
So it's Jason right now. John Forbes also a little bit over 2 seconds back from our leader, Ryan Kelly. You can see that grade 11
12 went way up track. They're going to be 3 wide behind you.
So we know that this driver always quick where we go. But John Forbes, I mean, this has been a resurgence of speed. We always knew that John was going to have the talent to find the speed to be hunting for a championship. This is the first time.
They're still 3 wide, so it's going to give you a little bit of a break here.
Well, going forward as
they're back double.
Cody Reed. Still Campbell can't get by the 25. And it looks like for Campbell, he's going to lose even more positions as behind those drivers. They're really getting racy. Back from 17th on back.
Yeah, there's a lot of racing in the back of the field. A lot of 2 wide and 3 wide.
Dane Therian's definitely coming.
Now with Brian Knoll on the outside line there. They're all going to line up now as we jump to them. Go figure. But they were 3 wide, not even a lap or 2 ago. So these guys back here in the field, they are definitely racing hard, showing us a great show back in the field, showing what they can do as well.
And as we go back to see that chaos battle for 20th on back, battle for the lead. We're seeing a swap there. Gavin Rogers has completed the pass for first, 75. Now it's time to see what pace he has and how much he wants to utilize these tires to pull away from the front.
Shane's looking inside.
Looking back, Rogers going to be a little bit of a pace setter for the 75 as we are 32 laps in of 180. Thanking everyone that's been joining with us so far in tonight's race. We also want to say thank you to GTR Simulators as well as Trophy Smack in our here.
Clear low.
Ellie.
Back inside.
Yeah, I was drifting that whole turn.
Cody Reed, 12th place.
I got to back down a little bit.
By the 25, and we'll get.
You're just that good. I get it.
Find a way to get by this 25 machine.
No, I'm burning my tires up. Holy crap.
Clear low.
Moving into the inside here. Finally looks like Cody.
You can't make the pass, you're screwed.
These drivers by. Douglas still side by side. Campbell fell back a little bit. They're going to hope to get the run off the turn. Not really able to close it. Not follow Doug around. But Douglas moving and Cody Reed still side by side.
You can follow the hole that Shane keeps opening. You'll be all right.
Racing hard as it gets the last lap of the race, but Douglas trying to get that. Looks like he might be able to clear on the next turn, but still side by side as they go into turn 3 and 4.
And Cody just shifted into that corner. He did not want to relinquish this pass just yet. The 25, the 7 stays side by side.
9 still inside. 21's behind them.
How many times you guys still go up and rush?
Now the 14's behind you.
And during that, just some scripts that he grabbed on for himself. Have you ever seen that tight action before? What are these tires feeling like?
How close was that one?
That was close.
About a second.
Yeah, he definitely came up on you.
These drivers passed this lap. These tires are not the same.
But you were already on the wall. There was no sense in saying anything.
And it's building up more and more drivers behind this grouping. And this is when things are very dangerous. Breaking.
Hey, Andrew, no.
Playing with fire.
Picture of caution building up in front of us.
Yeah, this is just chaos back here in the field. Back for the 16th.
All right, now you're split between the 9 and the 21.
An accident waiting to happen, it looks like. Nobody is wanting to give up. Everyone is wanting to maintain their position.
I need to not talk to you.
Tires, they wear out a lot faster at tracks like this at Dover because of the concrete surface. Concrete surfaces tear these tires up, and these drivers look like they are not daring. Side-by-side racing, you're wearing the tires a lot more than if you were just single file. But this whole pack is 2x2x2x2. This is racing back here in the 16th on back.
There you go. All right, you're 3 wide up high.
12 all the way down to 23rd position.
15 and 9 low.
This stays
still there.
Side, and finally,
15 back on your left rear. Hold on with.
All the fighting and bickering.
Oh.
They're wrecking behind you.
Included, or will Cody fight back? Is there 3?
Oh no.
Nope, no caution. Stay green.
Tearing on the inside, outside. Ryan McCann, the 8. Hoping he's got the.
There's nothing you can do about that. You were up by the wall already.
Back and forth, and Campbell keeps it straight for now. No GTR is already more scattering, and we're still green.
Impressive wheel work by all the drivers back here. That was an accident just waiting.
There's nothing you could have done about that.
And it didn't happen. All drivers involved got loose, but able to keep their cars straight and pointed forward. We're still green flag racing.
I mean, my heart goes out for Ken Campbell. That is just a never ending for these first 40 laps of just relentless beating and banging. For the 15, just could never get by Cody Reed, and ultimately track stuck, and now he's back to 24th for himself. The battling still will reach on around that 25 machine, around the 13th and 14th position, but drivers up ahead. Seeing some big movements from James Scioli, who started back in 24th position. He's currently going to beat our Whiplash Simcast biggest mover in the first 40 laps.
25 now outside, 9 is with you.
From where he started, this 77 is making these moves look easy so far for himself as he's caught up to Cedric.
Try not to get too close to that 25 on corner exit. There you go. Never mind. Go ahead. Get on it.
Unfortunate that he was unable to make it into the playoffs.
He was pegging the wall every exit.
One race in the playoffs, and that's all it took was one race.
I didn't want him to bounce off and take you out.
We had no chance at Las Vegas because he wasn't showing up. So unfortunate to see him not in this final 6 because he is making a showing tonight and doing fantastic as he's now up 15 positions from the start.
I mean, making a showing for himself. And a lot of the guys who were knocked out of that last round are making some great showings. And I'm thinking about 5th, 6th position. We got Larry England, who was knocked out. Also, we've got Jared Talmadge, who just missed out by just that of 7 points. And I mean, this 27 has been impressing me on the way that he has performed in the playoffs.
Is Shane a playoff contender?
Championship for
I don't know if he is or not.
I don't know.
Well,
I hit gas pedal and wanted to go for the wall, just like last week.
Where this 27 has not performed, had the unfortunate circumstance being caught up in the big one at New Hampshire that really.
Does the broadcast show playoff contenders with like certain colors or something?
Impressed by Jared Talmadge and the way that he's improved.
Never mind, I about lost it. Yep. I'm gonna give it to him.
Okay.
He is definitely
All right, clear.
wide open.
All right.
Even be able
One car now outside.
Championship or the playoff driver. So his performance has definitely improved. Also, it's great to see.
Clear back up.
To see him getting better each and every race, and being able to run up here in the top 10 at Dover is just a fantastic sight to see.
As Virgil now deciding it's his time to make the pass and march his way into the top 5.
Shane's starting to get a little loose too.
Makes that pass cleanly, easily, and that's the way you want to make a pass. Quickly, efficiently, and it's all in just one corner. You're not wasting time on the outside. You get right back to your momentum and groove. You've been protecting your tires. And Drew Jua now going to be on the attack. The only issue, he's 5 seconds off the battle for the lead. And there are 3 drivers on top of one another. Rodney's trying his best to pull away. But as Ryan Kelly is under fire from Seth Noel, who's right on those tailpipes.
Well, definitely putting the pressure down on Ryan Kelly, and that's a playoff driver being pressured by a part-timer. So this is kind of the same somewhat situation we had last week from what I saw, and it's Seth Noel able to get a very nice clean pass from Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly does seem to just let him by. He's got tires to save. He's got positions to maintain. Seth Noel, not really a worry to him, but if he can follow Seth and get back up to Gavin, that could be the position he needs to get the extra points near the end of this race.
And if you're Ryan Kelly, I mean, you got your full bonus point. You also grabbed leading a lap bonus point. Leading the most laps could be under threat. You've got Rogers taking this top position. If you're the 3, I think you're okay with seeing Seth Noel to go out there, take the lead the most laps. That takes away a bonus point that another competition driver could have for himself. Rogers.
Dax is burning his right front up.
Do so as we're coming up to lap 50. Been a fun one to watch all these drivers going back and forth. Looking at some other drivers that are making big moves. James Scioli, once again, he's on the charge, up 17 positions now for himself. He just got by Larry Yingling and now trying to catch up to Jared Talmadge. Other big movers that have been out on track. Zach Hall up 14 positions, but also this 9 machine, Shane Terrian, up 10 spots for himself as he's going to stalled out around Thompson check as he was near that 3-wide fiasco of Brian McCann, Ken Campbell, and himself, Shane Terrian, and it kind of caused a blip that should have been a caution, but somehow everyone kept it straight.
Yeah, Shane Terrian able to kind of keep off all the cars that were getting loose, kind of sliding all over the place, and made his way through that group, and he has just been slowly, steadily moving his way up through the field, picking up the car one at a time. He's doing a great job tonight. Another driver that, got knocked out of the playoffs as well. He had one heck of a season for himself, and just trying to show what he can still do, and he still could have had a chance to be racing for this championship.
Yeah, Shane Terrian tonight had quite a season, had 3 top 5 finishes, 8 top 10s, and had so many chances of getting a win, just fell shy, and felt like
I don't know how to drive this track.
That changed Shane Terrian's season.
Yeah, you do.
Was it you
It's just it's
around 11.
the next gens are a completely different learning curve altogether.
In a war of, all right, let's just at least get a win this season. That's Nine's mentality is big.
They're tough.
Dover, only that.
When there's so much more you have to mess with.
Thompson Jack still being hunted and hounded so far by the Nine machine as they continue to go back and forth with one another.
I just have no rear tire left.
Making some big moves all around.
73 is coming up outside.
He's looking good, but under heavy pressure now by Seth Noel.
Seth is
Clear up.
caught up to him and, going to try to challenge him for that lead. He is right on his bumper. So Gavin now under pressure from Seth like he was last week as well. So we'll see how long Gavin can maintain the lead. But it looks like he's just going to slide up, let Seth take that inside, and just let him drive on by. Gavin still has tires that he could save, but he's still going to challenge him on the outside. He's going to still maintain that front position.
Trying to maintain and trying to keep ahead as much as possible at 75. That outside lane is going to be where he has to run to protect, defend as well as he can, but the way that we're seeing these speeds being placed down, Seth Noel just looks like this is ultimately his position to grab. There's just too much pace underneath his 57. Throttles up. How much does Rogers want to fight this position, though? Is he going to think big picture, or is he still feeling the kind of hurt and pain after last week's race at Las Vegas? And got Rogers loose off the exit. Well, keeps it under control, but it's 75. The way he's throttling up, I think he wants to fight back for this spot.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he wants to fight back. I just don't think he has the tires to do so. Got a little loose after Seth made the pass, so Gavin, he's got to fall back. He's got to take care of those tires because Ryan Kelly is now knocking on his bumper, waiting to pounce as well. So Gavin has got to pay attention to the bigger picture and not worry about the here and now and worry about Seth. He's got to worry about Ryan Kelly, who's closing the gap behind him.
And I'm hoping everyone can hear us as we are aware of internet issues happening. We're hoping that they would just naturally phase through whatever issue is happening at this moment. It's kind of out of our control. We're going to continue to try to broadcast this race as much as we can. As Seth Noel going to be leading this race. Got Rogers second, Ryan Kelly third, and driver in fourth is going to be John Forbes Jr. He's still about a 2 seconds off the third place of Kelly.
Dog funnel is disconnected, so be careful. Go around him.
Dogfight currently up front. That's James Scioli. I think if he gets a caution, that 77 is going to be a driver to watch out for, as he is still running quick laps and almost running faster than our leaders lap after lap. As it looks like one driver is entering pit road, it's Zach Hall, as he is having an emergency. He's just speeding right to his box. I don't know what happened to the one, but he is having major mechanical errors for himself.
See Zach Hall again, not in the championship 6, got knocked out last season, but still trying to have a nice strong run here at Dover. Sad to see him early in the pits having the issues he's having, and having a great run tonight as well. So we'll have to get an update on what's going on with him, but right now James Scioli still making a good charge up to the front.
Yeah, a shocking position for Zach Hall. He just sprinted right into pit road entry, kind of wrecked in pit road as well. There's an issue that we still do not know what the cause was. Paul's race going to be a much tougher position for himself. Also in the pit road going to be Vincent Sora, as he's got to get service now done. 61 laps in, and I mean, this might be a zone. We weren't giving the fuel number for the drivers, but Richard, I mean, sometimes Dover, with the way the drivers have been aggressive, sometimes it's not a fuel race, it's more of a tire race. Can your tires survive as more drivers enter pit road? Shane Terry and Ryan Noel, as well as going to be seeing Christopher Morris still out on track, but joining the
Both car low, clear.
Getting service done for the 98 as we wait for the rest
Something
of the
tells me he went down pit road.
Pit road stops now or later.
What would it be if we cut it?
He went down pit road on lap 52.
That is, is it
What lap? How many laps would it be if we cut it in thirds?
One of those tracks that's short enough to where fuel, you can go
60.
a very long time on fuel, but tires are things you have to worry about.
What lap times is he running?
Those tires, really
12, he is.
Drive, so that might be one thing these drivers are trying to pay attention to more.
His best is 24:35. His last is 24:92. So right around 25 seconds.
These drivers with the new tires coming out, we'll see their lap times and see what kind of differences they have.
Well, looking at some of the drivers in the mid-pack, they're already...
Zach Hall's also on pit road.
He ain't gonna get enough time back.
Well, to be about 1.8 seconds on his fastest time. So if you enter pit road early, you're getting that massive jump over. And
It's better just to go to 90, I think.
But
Okay.
the issue is that this is one of those scary positions during a race, with there being about 2 seconds difference, the closing rate of entry, exiting the corner. It is dangerous how quickly you.
How long until I get lapped?
If you're not aware of
let's see.
you and what's in your
I'm pitting right here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
the biggest
pitting.
Leader is at the line right now.
All right, so that was out of 2.
Difference in braking zone, the different acceleration coming out. This is what can cause a caution. It's the difference in the tires. It's not necessarily a driver getting loose because they can't handle the car. It's just the closing gap and someone not giving someone space who's faster or something, you know, things
You're
like that.
P12, 15 seconds back.
Can't happen. So
roughly 10 seconds from you.
you can get a couple laps down or a lap down from making your green flag pit stop, and that can completely ruin your run.
The 25 who passed you earlier also just came off of pit road.
tire for the 17 Chris Stitz as he now enters pit road. And
That's Cody Reed.
Of us keeping our eye on of drivers, what are their tires looking like? Because you can get a required damage flag that forces you into pit road.
Jared Talmadge, Chris Stitz.
Brakes instantly the tire so much that
They're also on pit road.
Oh, they're pitting because their tire didn't make it.
Update on the one machine is Zach.
Cody Reed said he had 6% on his right front.
All right, let me give you your spotter back so you can listen.
Mechanical error to have. It's one of those things where you hope it never happens. There's always potential.
You got one outside.
Yeah, and that's one thing that's different from sim
All
racing
clear, all
to,
clear.
Racing in real life is that the cars in real life, they brake. You know, we don't have that here in iRacing, so our mechanical failures aren't
Sorry,
the
Dakota,
car,
didn't mean
but it's
to take
our
your
own
nose off
sim
there.
brakes, our pedals, our steering wheel, our screen, the computer
You're good,
itself.
man.
So that is our form of mechanical failures. And Gavin Rogers getting a little loose there. Looks like he got a little bit of bump from John Forbes as the old tire.
So if I can make it to 90 and they can't, I think I win.
Age. Is it time for Gavin
It's a
to
very
come
good
in?
possibility.
Shoes, we'll find out.
If your right front can go to 90.
It looks like
It feels good right now.
Was the
Okay.
case for the 75, which has been his
Well, you got 21 laps.
the last half of this season. His tire saving on how well can he save for the leader run. Reading reports, some drivers already pitted. They're down to 0. Some had 6% left on wear. That is crazy wear and tear these drivers are feeling right now.
Wow.
On top of seeing this racing action of those late in the run, those that have protected their tires, they're being rewarded greatly. As Gavin Rogers, one of the first, they're inside of our top 10 to enter pit road. 75 has to get service done. But Richard, one fact that we haven't really talked about, pit entry. This is one of the most dangerous pit entries to get into of all the racetracks that we're going to be seeing here this season.
You're up to P11,
Very narrow, tight.
16 seconds behind the leader.
A lot of the drivers have to dip down.
Sorry,
going into
Studs.
T3,
Perfect car won't turn
and
him.
that's a flatter part of the track, so they have to slow down immensely in order to get that car slowed down and controlled. So getting into pit road is not the easiest thing here at Dover, but yeah, like we're also seeing, the drivers that are taking care of their tires were surging forward near the end of the runs here, and Gavin Rogers was, just flying at the beginning of this race, putting down fast laps and leading and jumping out as far as he did. He's starting to feel the pain of those tires going away. And
Are there people pitting going 1 lap down or 2 lap down?
save or just be fast?
Let's see.
You saw there, the
Looks like
extremely slow, blew the tire right as he was passing
Deleted.
pit
Did
entry. Had to go and
Looks like 2.
around with no right front.
But then they're getting 1 lap back
All the other woes that he's
by speed alone.
Driver with blown tire going to be GT Rosari as he has to go.
That's still deep a lap down.
Digging, man.
When
You're
you
in
blow a
top
tire, I
10.
mean, your
Yeah.
vehicle doesn't completely fall apart like in real life racing where if you blow a tire, that thing is shooting directly to the outside wall. But obviously the handling is so terrible,
lap,
you
buddy.
have to slow down so much just to get around the corners. As GT's got to be careful. He misses pit entry. He's got to go around another lap for the 14.
Oh, and he can't.
Coming to lap 75.
Hit entries because a meatball flag here in iRacing. If you go too many laps, it will disqualify you. It is a required flag for a reason. So he has got to go.
Ross Tatum behind is for position.
Like we were talking about these tires, that's the sense of blowing a tire here in iRacing. It doesn't physically look like it's still.
He has not yet been on pit road.
Still trying to keep it off the track, get down to the pits. It does look like he might be able to get down to
He's on your bumper.
Yeah,
Got
one
you a little
inside.
loose there. Hold on a minute.
He has lost a
Left rear.
Stay high.
time, and that's what has truly hurt his run for
Still
time.
there.
Next driver I'll note that's trying to make it into pit road is going to be Larry England.
He's being
All clear,
pitched down
all
by
clear.
you. Had to give up the spot.
67, but up front, it's
Good job. Way to fight.
Well, leading the charge. Ryan Kelly just about under a second. And with only
51 to your outside, he is on new tires.
You're clear high, clear high.
The way that they've been hitting their laps, and Ryan Kelly, even within a second of our leader, this is a big props for Kelly, who was really falling off the pace there late.
So the 51 that just got by you, he's now one lap down, so he still has to go all the way back around one time.
What are they searching for? Because we've already seen drivers that had to hit at lap 60 because how worn up and torn up their tires were. Up to lap 80. If they somehow can skip to lap 90, that would be impressive.
Yeah, one inside.
Trying to split this race into a one-stop.
All
but
clear,
the way
all
we're
clear.
seeing the pace of tires, just seems like the better option to go.
Yeah,
All right,
I don't
it's
see it
75 laps. You can spin out
really
now.
working out properly because
Paintherian is the second car, one lap down.
and it's
Inside.
pushing the car up the track, especially when
Clear
people
low,
challenge
clear
him
low.
underneath him. So he's sacrificing damage on his car. He's sacrificing tire and long run pace because these other drivers are still running faster laps.
If you think you can make it, it's 12 laps.
Still, so
Oh, I'm going for it.
interesting strategy to try
Okay.
to make it to 90, but I do not see that actually happening with these drivers trying to push it.
I backed off quite a bit.
As we still wait for our top 11 drivers
26.163.
to enter pit road, and also Christopher Norris, who runs 18th place. Over half the field, he's
Inside.
currently
27 looking inside.
one
All
lap
clear,
down.
all
If the
clear.
caution flag were to come out, this could really change the factor of this race. As Seth Noel trying his best to just put lap after lap down. Ryan Kelly
Inside.
now
Got the 98 going to be inside off the corner.
Stay
off
high.
in pace, 5:57 machine. Kelly is
The 11's going to go with
The
him.
issue for
Below
Kelly,
that.
he
Clear
can't
low,
stay
clear
on
low.
track. He's
You are clear
pulling
low.
too much. You got to be careful by this 3 machine because we have too many internet issues. iRacing is trying
Yeah,
to
one
implement
outside.
The 98's
All
not for
clear, all
position.
clear.
out
Outside.
system. We're still trying to figure out
Stay
and
low.
see when that will happen.
You're
I
clear
haven't seen
high,
it yet
clear high.
in a race, but if you have too poor of internet connection, iRacing is working on a system that can just rip you off the track. That could be very hurtful for Ryan Kelly, who was just on the back bumper and putting the pressure on Seth Noel here as
9 to go, Brian.
lead is now underway as fourth place runner of Drew Lewis, James Kelly.
Just watch your entry on the pit road. It's treacherous as it is. When your tires are somewhat okay, never mind when
All
they're
clear,
90
all
laps
clear.
old.
Yeah, one inside.
Double O looking inside.
Clear low, clear low.
By that GTRs, all right, but Ryan Kelly made the pass.
Kenny,
for the
go
lead.
low on
These
me.
two
You got
have
newer,
been out the
pressure
same
tires.
amount of time, and they are fighting for this win. They're just who's going to bite first.
You're P9 right now.
But it looks like Ryan Kelly did a better job of saving the tires as Seth is starting to fall back. But you could see these cars.
I
are
wasn't
getting
gonna fight.
tighter
I
the
wasn't
longer
gonna fight
they
you
run.
for it. My tires are starting to go down.
Can you go to make these big moves? As Kelly defends for
Everybody inside the top 11 have not gone down pit road yet.
pit road. Cedric Hunter back in 5th place, still needs to go into pit road.
Yeah, one outside.
17 looking outside.
All clear, all clear.
Brian McCann, as well as seeing Dakota Moniz and Ross Tatum still in the phasing period of.
I'm pitting, watch out, I'm pitting.
Those are the 11 drivers that continue to stay out. They've been out there on course for 83
Outside.
laps.
25 looking outside.
On that.
You're clear high,
Stretched
clear
their
high.
tires out this long as Drew Jua has now just been given the required damage flag, blown tire for himself. He has to go into pit road now, but I mean, to be able to stretch your tires out 20 laps plus over some of the other competition that blew their tire at lap 60 for some, this is impressive by the top 11 that made it this far.
Yeah, it's impressive work by them, and we have
5 to go, Brian.
a slight difference also for the
lead
next
did a
leader of the race because all the drivers are about to pit very soon. I mean,
25.976.
Vincent Sora and St. Cheatarian will be coming out P1.
Drew Jua popped. He's on pit road.
In putting Gavin Rogers back into the 3rd position. So for these drivers, 85, 84 laps on these sets of tires. That is impressive to see.
Inside.
Cannot believe
Well, it's going to be looking low.
the all flag
Stay
for
high.
a
There's the
tire.
car
It's
below
going to be that
that.
right
Still
front.
there.
Here comes the 14 with him.
Right front
All
is the
clear,
tire.
all
low.
clear.
The load trying to turn these cars. So a great job.
5 cars now are going to be looking low also.
All clear, all
to make
clear.
these tires last and trying.
This is a battle for position.
Stop race. And it'll be interesting to see if that actually pays off dividends.
Ross Tatum now is going to be the next tracker.
He's not yet been on pit road either.
Stay out on track. As Drew Jua doesn't even make it that far. And Drew Jua
3 to go.
strikes the 88. Flag, unsafe pit exit. He has to do a drive-through again through pit road.
Inside.
Oh, that is not
Five low.
what we'll see when we are in the playoff 6. Any
All
kind
clear,
of
all
mistake
clear.
or penalty ruins a race for you almost. The only thing that he can hope for
Justin
now
Malarkey just gave up a top 10 spot. He's going down pit road.
Save his race. So unfortunate to see, because that'll put him not only a lap down, but probably 2 laps down. And you don't want to see that when you're chasing a championship.
Absolutely not.
Leader's last lap was a 25.89. Yours was a 27.17, and he's about 3 seconds behind you.
Oh, sorry, Ken. I thought you were going to clear me there. I'm entry.
Yeah, one
Here comes 67 inside. Clear.
Clear low, clear low.
James Scioli is now in the second position. Seeing the 5 machine.
All right, so watch your entry.
Right here? This lap 88, right?
Next time. No, not this time.
So impressive to see.
Right.
Lap 91 is the window you're looking for. If you want to
The leader is coming up on you. They're not at high.
You'd feel a lot more comfortable.
You're losing on the car in front.
The mentality of saving tires. This is a full
The car behind you, closing
180
on
lap
you. The gap is
mentality that you have to keep in your mind.
0.1 seconds.
It's not a short run mentality. You
That's
can't
what she
look
said.
You're all set.
You can't look at, I got to pass cars now. It's, hey, I've got 180 laps to run. I've got to make it to lap 90, 91 before I pit. So it's looking at the big picture, looking at that long run.
Hold on to it, hold on to it.
In the race and the
I knew that was going to be trouble.
Keep those tires as happy as possible. So these
Oh, I
guys
broke
do
the car
a
too.
great job putting on one
Did you?
Like your
of
car
a
itself.
class for
You'll
the
need to
rest
tow
of
back
yeah.
to the
to
pit
look
lane.
at.
Press and
But
hold
I mean,
reset
the
button.
only
We'll come
thing
get
that
you.
can really be a
Box
detriment to
in.
these
We've
guys.
got
All that
damage
for
on the
that.
back
That
end.
It
sucks.
would help them out also,
All right,
but it's going to
we're
help the majority of the
halfway to the
field
finish.
out, especially if the
5,
caution
3,
happens when
2,
these guys go into pits. It's
1.
time to get some new shoes.
Right
on
here.
cars.
Ryan McCann hasn't
All
blown
the
tires.
damage
He's
is
forced to pit
repairable.
road, and drivers aren't given warnings. Bike
That's only 44
seconds.
seconds. I'll have to do it.
They're told your tires are low, and you get a couple of warnings before you know it. I'm with
This is crab walking.
15 to 20 laps. So these
Oh, wow.
everyone that's still
Got ya.
out there, that is your top 7 currently. Have made it to the halfway zone. This is exactly where they needed to be. Now, if you want, you can pit. And for Douglas Newbigin, he's already made the announcement on the driver's text channel. He's pitting this go
Prepared to
around.
almost
A few other
finished up.
drivers that are going to be forced
Big
to
names out
pit
here,
road
GT.
here shortly. As Gavin Rogers and co. use up your tires, make these passes quickly as they still, for Rogers
Whoops.
and everyone else.
I even turned my brake bias up and everything. I should have just stayed on a gray part.
They unlapped themselves under green flag conditions, but they are closing up to Kelly and Scioli here quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, they only have a 2-second difference when it came to pace, so it was going to take them at least 12 to 13 laps
That's it,
to
go.
beat drivers when they were a lap down. So they're doing a good job. They're finally getting their laps back. So
You're gonna have
them out. They're the beneficiaries of that caution.
Pretty
But,
decent track.
drivers
I'm just
now
watching it for you.
out for 93
All right, you got
laps
one,
now.
and then you got a couple more.
The race on these sets of tires. That is
Clear to merge
insane
whenever you
to
hit the cone.
see, but it is cutting close now. These drivers have to think about coming in and getting new
There you go, good
tires
job.
soon, because there's no way those tires can last much longer.
So Noel going to be now making his stop in service.
How many laps down am I?
I'm checking that right now.
Sadly, when he needed his pit stop,
4.
speeding on
Ouch.
He's got to do another drive through for the 28. Once he gets out there, excuse me, that's a 40-second.
Yeah, it hurt a little bit.
For the 28 machine. That's
Well, if a caution does come out, cautions breed cautions.
drive through, and now we'll see.
That's right.
Continue on with these runs. Cedric Hunter now enters pit road.
I could just call it a night. I don't know.
James Scioli that continue to stay out on track. And the drivers
It's up to you. Whatever you want to do.
It is driving good.
Ken, I'm pitting here. I'm
He's making
pitting.
his charge. He's found a way to get by Gavin Rogers, Vincent Sora, Jared Talmadge, and having fresher tires than those.
I mean, one thing for sure, you could definitely make it the rest of the way.
Last week in Las Vegas, and once
Yeah.
the championship round on the
The leader
right
just
foot,
did a
as he continues to get by, and this
26.96.
is the pass that's so necessary and needed. Forbes is back on the
You know,
lead
a
lap.
lot of these guys, they're going to have to pit again and again. Those that are cutting it in thirds, they'll be coming down pit road in about,
The car in front
Charge
is
up
hitting.
there as well.
22, 23 laps.
Trying to save his tires.
So you never know. They may make a mistake too.
Outside.
Seth Noel back out on track, making his presence.
You're clear
True.
high, clear
his
high.
way back up through the field. So now
Did you see my tires?
drivers that have hit
No, look, I look at it right now.
21-0.
laps. How long are they going to be
Wow.
out there, and what's the difference going to be when they get back on the track? Are they going to just run the tires down until they
Holy
until
cow.
Is gone, or are they going to try to save tires as well for the
Yeah,
long run?
that right rear was about ready to pop.
The pace is huge because once the drivers that pit for the 2 lane,
The slide may have actually got it.
when they get new tires later in this run, they're going to be
that's true too.
exceptionally faster than those that are going for the long run as well.
And with this mixed spin cycle almost concluded, Brian Kelly's now the last driver to stay out, and he has started lap 99. This is impressive by the 3 machine. If he gets to lap 100, this is incredible for himself. He continues to show no signs that pit road is calling for himself. That means for Ryan Kelly
has not gone down pit road yet.
Tires without showing any signs.
Yeah, and he was fast too.
40 laps further than some of those had pit only back at lap 60. This is incredible by the 3 machine, and this is why he can go
he led the rest of the way if he pits.
Times we've been here.
He's got everybody from P5 back 1 lap or more down.
Driver to watch out for tonight, as again last season.
Everybody in the top 13 is 1 lap down. 14th on back is 2 laps or more.
Tonight, he wants to do the thing that has never happened with WSSR at Dover. That's grab the pole, lead the most laps, and win the race. Right now, the 3 is looking good. Over 100 laps into this race.
Yeah, I think the downside about this, though, he's done a fantastic job. 100 laps on these set of tires at Dover. That is impressive work, and like you said, he's the favorite to be winning here, honestly, based on stats. So the biggest thing he's going to have to worry about is when he does come to pit, he will more than likely go down 2 laps. That is a huge mountain to climb when you think about it like that. So we'll have to see. We'll have to keep an eye on him after he makes his pits to see how much
outside.
Comes back out.
The leader in
you're clear up.
You're clear high. Clear high.
Laps, he's going to be able to run 100.
All right, he just went down pit road.
The apron. He's making his pit stop after 102 laps on these tires here at Dover.
Here's the thing, he should be, if he doesn't make any mistakes here, he's going to still only be...
He made it on the pit road, no issues.
John Forbes, because of the fact that Forbes had never caught him, he was about 17 seconds back by the time of this 3 machine.
Got 1 outside.
So
17 outside.
43.54.
South 14 outside.
All clear. Still there.
That this 3 machine,
right rear.
These fresh tires on, starts running. It's going to be
Clear
about
high,
a second and a half faster than John Forbes, who is already 1.2 seconds off of his fastest lap for the 11 machine. He's been out there for 30 laps, and there's already over a second pull-off.
Same for Gavin Rogers. Gavin Rogers is 1.5 seconds slower than his fastest lap as well. So you can tell the tires are getting older, and it's a 30-lap difference on them as well. So I don't know if they're trying to save more tires, but Ryan Kelly done with his pit stop, and he's back.
Ryan Kelly
put him
fell to 1 lap down after waiting to go down pit road on lap 102.
That's going to be a huge difference.
Forbes, the last time he was on pit road was lap 72. So that sounds like he was going to maybe try cutting it in third, just ran a little long on the first stint.
So even if there was a caution, Ryan Kelly is currently in the lucky dog position.
Behind him,
so
it was all mid-60s.
The numbers, it's a waiting game. When do you make your next pit stop? When do you hit pit road? Well, we will give you all the answers, as this has been
15 low.
A fantastic race. 103 laps Ryan Kelly took those tires. And how far can the
You are clear.
Take theirs? We know majority of the field still has 1 more.
Coming up on Shane Therian.
We'll come back, and we've got more pit stops.
Outside.
Who survives? We'll find out.
Right rear.
Race in
Clear.
the championship round at Dover. Been a blast so far, as we'll be back in more WSSR Cup Series Season 10 action when we come back after this, as we go side by side coverage for you.
Right front. Side. Bumper. Clear. Made up a couple spots by those that had other issues and weren't able to continue. Right front, door, bumper, clear. You're now 3 laps down. Outside clear. Inside. Still left rear, clear. Outside, clear. Clear.
Series of Symphony Seed on bringing back from the down
Down to 2 laps. You've been almost a second or more faster than those around you for the last 5 laps. You're doing all right, sir.
Yeah, it sucks I spun. I would have been fast because I've learned a little bit.
Yeah. Up to 21st.
I'm gonna put this time by.
P20 is actually in the pits, so you may actually leapfrog him, maybe.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen.
And then after him, the next car would be the 00 of Noel.
You're aware of internet issues that are happening on the broadcast. We're going to keep on trying to give you the coverage of the first race of the championship round of 2 races. All 6 contenders that made it to the championship round all started out equal at basically say 0 points. Whoever could come out of these 2 races tonight at Dover, next week at Homestead, whoever's got the most points after these 2 races will be able to hoist the season 10 championship for this WSSR Cup Series. It's been a pleasure to give you the call so far here at Dover. 123 laps, so we might be jinxing it, but Richard, pit road has been calling for some, but we've been clean and green since the start of this race. No stage break was given out that has been removed for this championship round. There's no stage points, there are no stage breaks, so we have stayed clean and green. And we've seen the field have a couple of blip moments of, oh my goodness, it should be a wreck, but so far, this has been incredible racing to see here this evening.
Yeah, it has been a fantastic race to watch, even with different strategy calls with like drivers like Ryan Kelly, who drove 103 laps on tires at Dover, which is unheard of.
Pits in theory and are on pit road.
A lot of different strategy calls. We've had, like I said, a few little mishaps that could have easily been a caution, but the drivers did fantastic keeping the car straight, keeping us under green. We saw Vincent Sora ducking down in the pit lane. It sounds like it seems to be, it is calling some of these drivers again for their final pit stops of this race, as we were under 60 or 54 laps to go this
I'm
race.
pitting here,
It's getting down to crunch
Brian.
time and strategy and who's going to be able to pit and take tires and get their way back up through the field.
Out of the nitty-gritty, a couple of drivers forced to pit road as they are given what we call a meatball flag. It's a black flag with an orange circle in the middle. It's a required flag where you have to go on a pit road within 3 laps to get service done. A lot of drivers have been getting within a 60 to 50 lap run. They find themselves getting into a position where they have to go into pit road to get service because their tire is blown. As taking a look here, these are your live points. Now, this is not accounting for pole.
50 to go, give or take.
But live points currently, it's Gavin seeing the fact, you can actually take that back. We're just notified pole points are given out. Gavin Rogers, based off where they run currently, would be your driver of note with the points lead currently, with John Forbes second, Ryan Kelly third, Cedric Hunter fourth, with Drew Jua going to be fifth.
Inside.
It's sort of crazy to see.
Clear.
It's over the hunt for his third ever WSSR championship. Granted, Tyler Yingling, he is currently 16 points as they run now. Now, we are still
same thing, down low.
As drivers that are going for the 2
Clear.
Still are going to have to make a stop here, most likely in the next 10 to 15 laps to get that service done. Ryan Kelly, he is in a prime position to watch out for, but also in the chaos as the 3 looks the best on tires. As Shane Terry gets contact by Ken Campbell, the 9 trying to keep it under control. No caution flag is out. What a save, but man, the frustration for the 9 machine in that moment as we continue to stay green as Richard, I don't know if we can stay clean and green with how diverse all the drivers' tires are. This is going to be a chaotic final 50 laps of this race.
Yeah, That is going to get chaotic for sure in the last 50 laps. And Shane Terrian, again, getting caught almost in another situation, but doing a great job wheeling that car and keeping it straight. And on a controller at that. That's another thing we like to talk about Shane Terrian, the only controller driver in the field. So fantastic work by him, keeping this race under green. You hate being the driver that ruins strategies by an accidental caution. Though it wouldn't have been his fault, but still, kept it straight, keeps it green, and he's still back running and chasing down Ken Campbell.
Chase down Ken Campbell as best as he can. Vincent Sora, who was one of the first takers for his second stop of the night, he's going to be pushing forward for the 15th. That's kind of why he was down as far as he was. Here's a replay of one of the scenarios that just happened for Shane Terrian. As this might be a little bit too far back. We'll see a lap or so as it's going to be close to seeing the 9, trying to figure out a way to get through this incident. But there's Ken Campbell, who just leaves out of pit road. It's going to be through this corner where the 15 just drifts up, clips the 9. I think it looks like a little bit of net code, but even if there wasn't, an incredible save by the 9 machine there.
13's throwing it in low.
Control, but yeah, like you're saying, great work by Shane Terrian.
He's clear.
Under the best.
Hold on, wait.
There
you go, good job.
The race under green flag, and this allows the strategy to still play out for a lot of these drivers. So, I mean, you're having drivers, Gavin Rogers, John Forbes, still out there on 60-lap old tires and still getting chased down by James Scioli and Ryan Kelly, who have half the distance on their tires. So I think John Forbes and Gavin are trying to push these tires as long as they can to have a faster pace later in the run. So I think that's what their strategy is, to try to get
double low coming up on you, looking low.
Too long, because it will take them probably
at your door
15 to 20 laps to
He's
get
clear.
back to the field. So it's a matter of when that crossover is and when they decide to come in and get some fresh tires.
Dakota Moniz hasn't shown up for a lot of this season. It's not a part-time schedule, but he is searching for his first top 10 of the season. And if his cards line up with the amount of drivers that are going to make a pit stop, who knows, this 5 could be in a position to maybe steal a top 5 finish, as we still have plenty of drivers up front that need to make a pit stop before this race is over. One of those, I'd say 2 of those, our top 2, John Forbes Jr., Gavin Rogers, they are in a 2-stop strategy call, but they are...
I'm going into the second. I'm going to just hang back on you.
Who's 5.5 seconds back from those top 2. And they got to be careful as well. This is going to be James Scioli, who pitted, I'd say, a lap sooner than I would like, but the 77 also in a position where he can try to stretch out his fuel and tires to the end of this thing. So the 77 to the 3, they're closing in on our top 2 that still have to pit. That's got to be a frustrating feeling. But if they don't pit soon, that 11 and 75, they will not have enough time to make a rebound to get these positions back.
I completely agree with you, Sam. They have to figure out when is the best time for the crossover to happen, because the tires do fall off quite
17 looking low.
I mean, they were
and clear.
After about 20 laps, they were losing that second and a half off their pace. So it's definitely an interesting call. The 2-stop looks like it's probably the better idea, the better strategy for the drivers, as they were able to make it. But Gavin Rogers and John Forbes, they can still pull this off.
Sorry there, in turn 1, Larry.
27 low.
Back up front, but we'll have to see what happens.
Clear.
I'm sure they're about to pull in here with the next couple laps to get some tires.
Didn't realize the closing rate was that much.
Done. It'll be his second pit stop of the evening, right on board with Gavin Rogers, as he's seen in front of him. It looks like getting reports in the area and lunching, trying to save his way to stretch this out as far as he can go. But again, the big worry isn't really the fuel, I would say. It's more of the tires. How are these tires going to hold up for the 75? Or is it a net, just hope for a net gain situation? And I mean, the way this run is going, Richard, even if you try to save the fuel, you're going to lose a lot of time in your competition behind you.
Darian's going to be looking outside.
Pressure tires.
Door.
11
clear.
So he's going to be putting this much pressure to continue to fight forward. But this is bizarre to see the fact that they are trying their best to save fuel, save tires, stretch as far as they can go. And that would mean they would have to go further than what Ryan Kelly did on his tires.
Yeah, I don't think that is going to work out to their advantage very well, because that's going to put them 10 laps further than Ryan Kelly did about. And, I mean, Gavin Rogers, he's only a little under 3 seconds ahead of James Scioli. And it's a strange strategy to try and save fuel now, but James Scioli, he's going to be one that probably has to admit, he's going to be able to make it in line. but he's running so slow compared to those that are trying to chase him down. So I don't know if that's the right call for him to be making. I think go ahead and pitting. He should have pit probably 5 or 10 laps earlier, get the fresh tires and get that pace up to catch the drivers back up. But we'll have to see. Maybe there's something that they're hoping for that might happen. Maybe they're hoping for a caution. But a very interesting strategy coming in from Gavin trying to caution safe fuel.
If you're just joining us now, we'll see what bring up our race report. We've got a couple of drivers that have officially called it a night. Now, they've been in pit road for most of this race, but no caution.
15 after the left rear.
Lead changes here tonight. We've been
Clear.
green all the way through. A couple of drivers are out of this race. Nicholas Renner, Zach Hall, Tom Simchek, and Christopher Norris. 4 drivers are officially out of this race. 23 still out on track, and only 7 are on the lead lap as these laps continue forward. And a couple of drivers, I'm nervous about how far they can stretch their tires out for. Seth Noel going to be one of those drivers who runs 5th. Got this new bigging in 6th. They're most
14 inside.
to pit once again as well for the drivers
Clear.
of Justin Malarkey. Dakota Moniz, they're going to be close. Their tires look on how aggressively they've been pushing on this run. We do know for sure John Forbes, Gavin Rogers, they're backing off their pace, but how much of these tires are going to be left for them to take it all the way to the end of this run, as Gavin Rogers has just been caught and passed by James Scioli. As Vincent Sora, who did it earlier, he took the decision to go with the 2-stop strategy. He still runs back in 17th position. The 51, I don't know if there's going to be enough drivers that have the pit that he can get these positions back.
Yeah, it's definitely a rough situation to be in. And Gavin, he lost the position to James Scioli, and Ryan Kelly is knocking on his door as well. So Ryan
Sorry about that,
Kelly
Brian.
is
Didn't know
trying
if you
to
can
make
run the
pass
bottom or
on
not.
Gavin Rogers very soon, just because of Rogers' fuel-saving strategy with holding the clutch at the
No,
turns.
you're good.
So he's losing quite a bit of speed and quite a bit of pace because of this strategy. And Ryan Kelly's going to look at passing here the next turn as he goes low to try to get around Gavin Rogers.
Rogers really can't do anything about it. He just has to watch that pass speed.
67 inside.
30-lap difference.
Clear.
It just shows how much better tires are and how impactful they are here at Dover. As for Gavin Rogers, now the question I think looms for the 75 of, I mean, he's kind of made his bed, he's got to lay in it, but is there a point where you just say, I have to just pit and see what I can salvage out of this run? Or do you just keep falling, Richard? Because I got a feeling he's going to lose another 5, maybe 4, potentially even more positions as this run continues on.
I think at this point he's kind of made his bed. There is no pit nap strategy. The 2-pit strategy for him is out the window. Now it's just trying to get fuel or save fuel and see how far he can stay through the field. Because if he pits now, he's going to get passed by a ton of vehicles and go a lap or 2 down, especially since he's behind the leader. So he might be able to pick up a spot, maybe 2 later in this race. But I mean, with John Forbes, who doesn't seem like he's saving fuel, he's probably going to have to either run out of fuel or pit later. But, I mean, at this point, he's just made his bed. He's just got to ride around and hope for a caution to salvage this run.
Top 3 within a second and a half of one another. John Forbes Jr., James Scioli, Ryan Kelly. You give the advantage to the 3 machine because he's got the fresher tires of this trio. But if you've been burning off too much tires, maybe a little bit over aggressive. We talk about how this is a mental game more than anything at Dover of keeping your mentality of save tires, not to overcoat them once you got fresh rubber. And as Ryan Kelly found a way to salvage these tires, we're going to go to James Scioli, who's been our biggest mover for all of tonight. The 77 started tonight's race, only back in 24th position, and now on the cusp of taking the lead spot, or Willie, with Kelly pounding on him. We're about to see these 3 drivers right on top of one another as the pass for the lead's about to be made.
Pass for the lead getting ready to happen. James Scioli looking forward to John Forbes' bumper. He's got the pace. He's got the fresher tires. Now he just needs the patience to make the pass cleanly. Any mistake can ruin this run for Scioli and give Ryan Kelly a chance to catch back up and make the pass for the lead. So Scioli taking his time, looking for the opening to make the pass on Forbes, knowing he's got better tires. So he's just being patient and waiting for that right moment.
Chance, how bounce on it. And just like that, James Scioli is on the back bumper. John Forbes can be lingering to
inside,
the outside.
clear.
Pinch defend as bestly as he can with these laps clicking away. Less than 30 laps to go. And it's going to be James Scioli, Ryan Kelly, John Forbes. Who can find the better stretch and call for themselves? Or could it be someone further back that maybe finds some sneaky speed if these drivers make a mistake? Scioli, first chance to really dive it down low to the inside. You're going to see the grip level difference. He's already clear. Throttle up. Scioli to the point as he tries to pull away from Ryan Kelly and John Forbes.
That is the difference that 24 lap different tires makes as John Forbes
They're gonna
just
hate me
can't
for that,
do
but I have to do
anything.
plowing, trying to get out of your way.
Makes the pass nice,
I'll let you
clean,
buy up here.
doesn't come out of the turn side by side, is able to clear the
doesn't matter,
pass
my
in
car's
one
fucking killed
turn.
again.
And now he is
Perfect throw,
sailing
got wrecked.
in the lead, but Ryan Kelly now up to the bumper of John Forbes has closed that gap. He's going to look to try to make the pass just as
Old
clean to
Chinese
get around
violin
Forbes
gameplay.
and chase down Scioli. Ryan Kelly has been the dominant driver so far
Trouble
tonight.
for some of our
And
Hit a
best
bump.
drivers.
trouble in the
Car
back.
didn't do anything.
Gavin Rogers set the well. They continue to have their bicker and battles back and forth. Contact up
Inside.
turn 4. And the 51, you see him as the one on
Clear.
screen, making contact with the
25 is
79
next.
Gavin Rogers and
Left
they just
rear.
not
Side,
find a
clear.
way to not be involved with each other. It looks like for Noel, pit road is calling for himself, and that could be the race for himself on trying to get a good finish.
Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation there. It kind of looked like Gavin Rogers got tight coming out of the turn, got up into Seth. Again, all the drivers keeping it nice and straight, not causing a caution, but Seth the well hard into the inside wall, and I think that's why he had to pick, because he has a damage he's got to get fixed.
Gotta get the damage fixed, but also on 62 lap old tires. So if he gets tires damage.
Do you want the spotter back to listen for tires just in case, or you think you're good?
There's something tonight. I know there's been a couple of
Yeah, give him back.
tonight when there just
All right.
wasn't anything. They felt like they could.
Because I think he says it's somewhere around like 20 or 15%.
Gavin Rogers, he continues to fight on. The best thing for Rogers is that he had a big enough gap due to the fact that other drivers are so far behind him that even with this mistake, he still runs fourth. So he still can find a good finish here tonight if he can save the tires and fuel. But with the way that he's tightening up on the exit of the corner, that's a major sign to me. This 75 is going to be very close on tires.
It's crazy. We never got that caution.
Laps to go here tonight.
Right.
But if Rogers can
Whole race, 180 laps, caution free.
It's going to be back behind him. We'll love to take those positions away. Douglas Newbiggie in fifth, Cedric Hunter in
And we were looking at a top 10 too. That sucks.
track, though, is back
Yeah.
in eighth place. Chris
Very
Evans
possible.
is
My right front's
here,
down.
the closest.
Shit won't turn for crap.
18. GT Arizari and Drew Jua race close to one another. And then the leaders are the other close drivers, but there's pretty good
Blew my
spacing
right rear in the
between
first
Taylor
run, and
Kelly
now I got
and
no right
Forbes
front
currently
in
on
the
course.
second run.
Yeah, a lot of close battles throughout this throughout the field also.
Heck,
But,
I always
yeah, like
forget
you were
how
saying,
much this
Gavin
track
Rogers,
heats
he has
just
got to figure out
absolutely heats
something
tires.
because Douglas Newbigging and Cedric Hunter, they don't have to save. They can drive as fast and hard as they want for the most part, which allows them to be able to catch up
Yeah,
to
my
Gavin
right front's
Rogers.
down.
Gavin still has to save fuel.
Meatball.
He still has to run 10 laps longer than
Yeah, I
Ryan
got one of
Kelly
those on
did to
first
the end
run.
of this race. So
Right front.
he's kind of in just no man's land.
I can't be
He can
upset.
keep
I don't
that
get why we
pace
had
and
the
stay
track
where
at
he is, the field
130 something track
The
down.
leader did a
Which I'm-
25.852.
Car is not turning for anything.
The track temp is 130.
I just
Yep, 135. Sure is.
Dang.
Find any way to get by this.
No wonder it's a cheese grater that's hot.
Ryan Noel, the first driver ahead of him, is about 2 seconds ahead. Then he
It's a
rolls over.
fondue
That was a
pot.
bad time not telling my relative up. See that with you,
Talking about tire
Gavin?
issues. He blew a tire. Pit road is forced
Sorry,
for the
I'm a
75.
wrecking ball right now.
Yeah,
Car is driving
unfortunate
horrible.
Situation, not able to save the tires.
I felt like I was taking it super easy at the beginning of the run, too. I don't get it.
There, but a wreck
Long runs just
averted
ain't my thing,
Gavin
I
apparently.
think I'm going to go another lap down here.
and get tires. That is not what he wanted to
Yeah,
see.
but there's-
That is
there's,
not what he was hoping for, and now he is
Guys on pit road that
hopeful
You were
have meatballs.
salvage
Hell
what
yeah.
this run could have been.
try to be the tire wizard just like Ryan Kelly, and instead that's not going to be the case.
That's
The
right.
machine who got the pole led a lap to start this race off, and is trying to lead the most laps here tonight.
Rethinking this whole
The
no
3
competition
is in
caution?
a prime position to enter into Homestead next week as your points leader. As
Somebody
you look
bring
at your
them out,
bottom
I will
left,
find out where
these
you
are the
live
live
and fucking
points.
hangs
The way
by the
they're
tree in
looking,
your
the bonus
front
points
lawn.
that have been given out so far with the right now, this is one of those moments where
was
you're
panic.
Ryan Kelly, you're loving this, but you saw it, the movement right
It was
there.
a joke,
Gavin
it was a joke,
Rogers is
goddamn.
falling on the points battle, and he could be down to 6th place in points when he was up inside of our
Guys,
top
he's not
3.
joking. You should do what you
And
did to
that
the
is
guy
a
last
tough
season.
pill to swallow on the fact that you just could not stretch the tires out. You took the
Where's
gamble.
one of those Brian
and you were
Noel?
not
Leaders are less than a second apart.
Sometimes taking the gamble is never the
Sorry.
right call to do, but that's why it's a gamble.
Oh, my
I
arms
think
are
the
cheap.
smarter decision for Gavin would have been to pit and just go ahead and take the gamble.
Hey, it could
or
be
the,
worse.
the
It could be
strategy
Kern
of the
County.
pit strategy. So, but from 3rd back to 5th or 6th in points, he's got to have a stronger run at Homestead next week. if
I don't
something
know that
doesn't
we
go
ring
his way
any
the
green
rest of
flag
this race.
laps in that race.
Laps to
You're
go,
getting on the current
15
front.
laps to
We
go,
got
gonna be
these
14
nine.
as
Sorry,
Chase
Murray,
across the
front
line.
right
The
now.
77-3, the
Yellow.
battle
Give me
is
the other
on,
spot, Murray.
and the tires have started to equal out. We're less than a half a second between the 77.
Leaders are 1 and 2 right behind you.
For the lead, most likely both drivers can make it to the end on tires, but if you've been pushing too hard, we've seen tires blow in a range of 60 laps of green flag racing to 80 laps to 90 laps.
The leader is coming
three
up
of
on
Ryan
you.
Kelly
They're not that far.
has got the freshest
The
tire.
leader
He's
just
been
did
out
a
there for 64 laps.
John, I was your
James
first driver.
Scaglioli's been out there for 71. I mean, Richard, based on what we've seen, if you
Not
push
using
these
them up, I
tires
guess.
just a little bit too much on just one lap, that
I thought I
throws away
wasn't
any
using them
chance
up.
of
What the
making it
fuck
to
am
the
I
end of this
doing?
race.
It does, and like like you said, if you push it just one lap, it can completely shift 2 to 3 laps.
You're keeping the leaders at bay.
I'll give it a corner, Ben.
These drivers, it depends. The question is how hard have they been running this
Appreciate it.
entire stint? 72 laps, 66 laps.
boy, I'm gonna
John
slow
Ford's
down a
behind
little
them. He's on 96 laps on his tires, but these two.
I thought he was
this
going to
is
go a
the
little
race
fast on the corner.
for
I just
the
give up
win.
after
Will these
started.
tires last, or will one of them get that dreaded meatball flag?
Sorry,
for
my
a flat
tires are starting to go
tire
down,
before
too.
that white flag
I've
comes
been
out.
pushing harder than
We'll
I
see.
needed
Maybe
to.
these drivers are giving it everything while also trying to save it all to make it to
Oh,
the
good.
end.
Save it all, but we have to look at past races.
Good
How
save,
has
Drew.
Dover finished? If you looked at the Gen 7, the Jensen Cup cars, it has been 3 or less cautions per race. And the time we haven't made cautions come out was back in season 7 where they had 15 cautions be thrown. But during that caution-filled race, that was the only time they went to overtime. They've been finishing these races inside of regulation when it's a low caution count. It looks like we are poised to do so, but you always know a late caution blossoming. That's been the wave recently for the WSSR. These final few laps, anything could really shift and change the running. And a couple of close battles of note to watch out for. There's battling going on for 9th place. There's battling going on for 11th and 12th positions.
Leaders are about 3 lengths behind you.
For the lead is also one of the closer ones. Can Scaglioli and Kelly play nice, or does Kelly?
They're running the middle to high line.
For a win with 9.
And then kind of diamonding it out.
Over.
Hold on to it.
Kelly has been slowly gaining time on Scaglioli.
Looking low.
4 to 3 tenths of a second behind him each and every lap. He was
Inside.
7 to 8 tenths, so he's slowly
Stay
gaining
high.
on him. The matter of
Clear
just
low, clear
doesn't
low.
have time to catch him with
10 to
less
go
than
with the
10
line.
laps to go. They are starting to get some
Inside.
traffic again, so this might slow Scaglioli
Clear low,
up a
clear
little
low.
bit if he can't get
Got
around
one
him
inside.
smooth. But
Clear
this
low,
race
clear low.
for the win is definitely coming down to the last lap pass, I feel. But we'll see if Ryan Kelly can pick up this pace and not worry about that black flag tire issue.
Looking at drivers that are in a danger zone with their tires, there's about 6 drivers of note. Can they make it to the end? You got your top 2 that
The
feel
leader
pretty
just did
comfortable
a
as long as they protect their tires. Having a lap car in
25.889.
between yourself and your competition helps. And Brian McCann, one to the outside, letting Kelly drive on by. But it's going to be your top about 4 that I'm concerned about. You've got James Scaglioli, Ryan Kelly, John Forbes, who Forbes just pressed over 100 laps put on these tires.
Last time Scaglioli was on pit road was lap 96. Kelly was on pit road 102.
They're going to try to stretch their tires out as
Scaglioli's got to be
go.
wondering
But if they pressure and push too much,
whether he's going to be able to make it all the way.
Flag for a blown tire is something note to watch. We're keeping our eyes on the required damage flag if it ever pops up. With 6 laps to go, Scaglioli has done everything right to keep this 3 behind him.
done it all right, and he's had the fastest pace. 23 spots gained from the start of this race. Scioli is about to show he's the new king of Dover. If he can
Oh, we're good. I just got the message.
Ryan Kelly might have led them up to get to this position, and he's done a wonderful job getting his car to the front and passing these lap cars very smoothly, and he's trying to maintain for the
But we're 3 laps down, so
laps of this race.
Ryan Kelly going to get by Cody Reed.
Yeah.
Keeps a pretty good momentum. It's now going to be 3/10 between these two drivers with 4 laps to go.
it'd be a lot of drama if they stack him back up, though.
Just keeping it, just
Right.
getting closer and closer by a couple of 100ths of a tenth of a second to the likes of Scioli. But Scioli's just had enough time.
Kelly is carrying a ton of momentum off the corner.
He hits the wall. Kelly is using everything. Also trouble for one of our championship contenders. Drew Jua required damage for the 88. As Kelly, that might have been the last gasp in those tires, or was it? Because Scioli runs high.
Scioli running high after Ryan Kelly ran high. That gained Ryan Kelly some time, but these tires are slowly drifting away from them. Can they make them last the last 3 laps while trying to race each other? They're both really high. They're both
Kelly's there. He's on the inside.
Kelly able to get a little bit better run, going to close that gap a little bit as they get ready to dive into turn 2 with 2 laps to go.
Drew Jua caught with the black flag leader earlier on in the race. He's currently 2 laps down, about to be 3 laps down.
Oh, he couldn't do it, could he?
2 drivers with 2 laps to go.
He's trying again, though.
Of each other.
White flag.
James Scioli, Ryan Kelly. The what ifs for Scioli. The championship hopes for Ryan Kelly.
Nope,
And
wasn't able to get there.
It's time to look up to the air. We kept it green all the way through. No caution, but the battle for the lead is on. Ryan Kelly
180 laps. Crazy.
side by side
Crazy.
into the corner. Scioli's gonna have the slight advantage.
Absolutely, sir.
Pinched off the exit. Scioli
Good one,
racing
James.
for a quick.
Well, thanks for sticking around and spotting for me.
John, I don't know how the hell you got the fuel there to make it finish.
How you were wondering how it would work out?
Yeah, I was really just waiting that whole run, and then everybody
was the
going right
first
front,
car
so I literally
that
was
did it
running
with
10%
a
15
two-stop
laps.
race,
Once I
right?
saw I
Going in
had a gap
about
behind me.
60 and then again out about 120, 125.
No sense.
But Scioli
So,
able to keep
it-
Dang. So you're telling me it could have been a top 6, 7.
Scioli with the run out of the turn and is able to maintain
No, I don't take credit
sucks.
for running the
I wonder if my tire went out
10 laps ago. Really
before I
helped
come
us
into
not have a
pits, because it was just
as
uncontrollable.
they go 1, 2, 3 for your top 3 tonight's race.
An incredible
It's
finish,
possible.
and it is awesome.
Oh, well.
Very, very possible.
I still love how this league can go from a wreck fest at like any given
Yeah,
race,
man, have a good
and
one.
then we'll just go